The Night Shift. The Harbor Light Diner glowed like a lighthouse at the edge of Oak Ridge Bay, a beacon for insomniacs, night shift workers, and lost souls wandering the coastal town after midnight. Inside, Maya Torres wiped down the counter for the third time that hour, her dark curls escaping the loose bun at the nape of her neck. "Order up, Maya," called Gus from the kitchen, sliding a plate of pancakes across the service window. Maya nodded, balancing the plate on her forearm as she refilled coffee mugs along her route to table 7. At 28, she'd mastered the art of serving with a smile while her mind calculated medication doses for tomorrow's hospital shift. Nursing was her calling, but the diner paid bills that her modest healthcare salary couldn't cover, especially with her father's increasing medical expenses. "Here you go, pancakes with extra blueberries," she said, setting the plate before an elderly man who came every Tuesday night since his wife passed. "You're an angel, Maya," he replied, the same words he offered weekly. The bell above the door chimed softly at 1:17 a.m. Maya glanced up, noting the unfamiliar figure hesitating at the entrance. He was tall with gentle features, rain-dampened dark hair falling across his forehead. His eyes, warm brown and contemplative, scanned the nearly empty diner before settling on the corner booth farthest from the windows. "I'll be right with you," Maya called, finishing her coffee rounds. When she approached his table, notepad ready, the stranger looked up from the laminated menu with a small, hesitant smile. "Just black coffee, please," he said, his voice quiet yet resonant. "And maybe recommendations? I'm new in town." Maya tucked her pen behind her ear. "Depends what you're looking for at 1 in the morning. Food or conversation?" Something in his expression softened. "Both, I think." "Then you're looking at the diner's specialty, Gus's midnight omelet and my exceptional ability to talk while pouring coffee without spilling." His laugh was unexpected, rich and genuine. "I'm Noah," he offered. "Maya, I'll be right back with that coffee." Over the next 2 hours, Noah remained in his corner, nursing the same cup of coffee that Maya refilled periodically. Between serving the few other night owls, she found herself drifting back to his table. "So you're a nurse by day, waitress by night?" Noah asked during one such moment. "When do you sleep?" Maya shrugged. "Thursdays sometimes." She smiled at her own joke. "Actually, I work 3 12-hour shifts at Memorial, then pick up nights here when I can. My dad needs specialized care and insurance only covers so much." Noah nodded, understanding in his eyes rather than pity. "My mother was sick for years. I used to play piano in hotel lobbies after school to help with bills." "You're a musician?" A shadow crossed his face. "Was. Now I just listen." The conversation flowed easily between them, punctuated by Maya's duties. She learned he'd just rented the cottage overlooking the bay, that he preferred rainy days to sunny ones, and that he hadn't played music publicly in nearly 2 years. What she didn't learn was why his hands occasionally trembled when he thought. She wasn't looking, or why someone who clearly had musical training would abandon it entirely. At 3:42 a.m., as Maya counted her tips, Noah approached the register. "Same time tomorrow?" he asked, his question casual, but his eyes hopeful. Maya hesitated. Something about Noah intrigued her. Not just his gentle demeanor or the mystery surrounding him, but the way he listened as though every word she spoke mattered. "I'm here Wednesday through Saturday nights," she replied. "The coffee's not great, but the company's decent." Noah smiled, leaving a generous tip in the jar. "The company's better than decent," he said softly, then disappeared into the pre-dawn darkness. Maya watched through the window as he walked away, hands tucked into his jacket pockets, shoulders slightly hunched against the coastal breeze. For the first time in months, she found herself looking forward to her next night shift for reasons beyond paying bills. What she couldn't know was that Noah Chen had walked into the Harbor Light carrying more than just the weight of silence on his shoulders. He carried secrets that would soon collide with her carefully balanced world. Unspoken rhythms, 3 weeks. Passed, and Noah's midnight visits became as reliable as the lighthouse beam that swept across the bay every 7 seconds. Maya found herself watching the clock after midnight, anticipating the gentle chime of the bell that announced his arrival. "You're becoming a regular," Maya teased one night, sliding a piece of apple pie in front of him. "I took the liberty of ordering this for you. Gus made it fresh." Noah's eyes crinkled at the corners. "And here I thought I was being spontaneous and mysterious." "Nothing mysterious about a man who orders the same black coffee at the same time 4 nights a week," Maya replied, though they both knew it wasn't true. Noah remained an enigma, despite their growing friendship. Tonight, the diner was quieter than usual. Rain lashed against the windows, keeping even the most dedicated night owls at home. During a lull, Maya slid into the booth across from Noah. "Play something for me sometime," she said, surprising herself with the directness of her request. Noah's fingers stilled around his mug. "I told you I don't play anymore. Your hands say otherwise." Maya nodded toward his fingers, which unconsciously tapped rhythms on the tabletop. "They're always moving, like they're remembering." Noah withdrew his hands, tucking them beneath the table. "Some memories are better left alone." Before Maya could respond, her phone vibrated. Her sister Elena's name flashed on the screen, sending a spike of anxiety through her chest. Elena never called this late unless... "I need to take this," Maya said, already sliding out of the booth. In the back hallway, Elena's voice came through tight with worry. "Dad's had another episode. He's okay, but the doctor wants to adjust his medication. The new prescription isn't covered by insurance." Maya closed her eyes, leaning against the wall. "How much?" When Elena named the figure, Maya felt the familiar weight settle deeper onto her shoulders. "I'll figure it out. Tell him I'll visit tomorrow." When she returned to the dining area, Noah watched her with concern. "Everything okay?" For a moment, Maya considered her usual deflection, a smile, a nod, a change of subject. Instead, she found herself speaking the truth. "Not really. My dad has Parkinson's. It's progressing, and each new treatment costs more than the last." Noah listened as Maya told him about her father, a former high school music teacher who could no longer hold an instrument steady, the mounting medical bills, and her mother, who had left years ago, unable to handle the reality of a prolonged illness. "I'm sorry," Noah said when she finished. "That's a heavy burden to carry." Maya wiped away a stray tear. "Everyone has their burdens. What's yours, Noah? What makes a musician stop playing?" The question hung between them. Finally, Noah sighed. 2 years ago, I was performing at Carnegie Hall when I froze on stage. Complete panic attack in front of 2,000 people. Couldn't play a note. Walked off and never went back. Stage fright. Something deeper. Fear of being truly seen, I think. After that night, the music just stayed inside. Locked away where it couldn't hurt me. Their confessions created something new between them. A fragile trust built on shared vulnerability. When Noah left that night, his fingertips brushed Maya's as he handed her his coffee mug, lingering a moment longer than necessary. Neither acknowledged the electricity in that brief touch, but both felt it, an unspoken rhythm beginning to play between them, as steady and inevitable as the tide washing against the shore outside. Daylight revelations, Maya rarely ventured into the upscale part of town, where boutique shops lined cobblestone streets and tourists snapped photos of the harbor view. But Elena had insisted they meet at the new music store that had opened on Harbor Street, claiming they had special equipment that might help their father hold his beloved guitar again. The store was elegant, with instruments displayed like fine art. As Maya wandered through the gleaming pianos and vintage guitars, a familiar melody drifted from a back room. She followed the sound, drawn to its melancholy beauty, and froze in the doorway. Noah sat at a grand piano, eyes closed, fingers dancing across the keys with fluid grace. But it wasn't his unexpected presence that stole Maya's breath. It was the poster on the wall behind him, advertising an upcoming charity concert. The Return of Noah Chen, benefiting Parkinson's research. The photograph showed Noah in formal attire, serious and composed, nothing like the quiet man who appeared at her diner in worn jeans and faded sweaters. The text beneath proclaimed him a world-renowned pianist and composer, emerging from his 2-year hiatus. The music stopped abruptly as Noah sensed her presence. "Maya," he said, rising quickly from the bench. "I can explain." But Maya was already backing away, pieces falling into place. His reluctance to discuss his music, his generous tips, his mysterious past. "Were you ever going to mention you're famous? Or that you're performing at a charity concert for the exact disease my father has?" Her voice trembled. "Was this all research for you? Some inspiration for your comeback story?" Noah reached for her arm, but she pulled away. "It's not like that. Yes, I'm giving a benefit concert. But that has nothing to do with us. There is no us, Noah. There's you, with your secret celebrity life, and there's me, who apparently makes for an interesting charity case." The hurt in her voice was palpable. "That's not fair," Noah said, his composure cracking. "I came to the diner because it was the only place open when I couldn't sleep. I kept coming back because of you, not your father, not your story. You. Then why hide who you are? All these weeks, all our conversations, was any of it real?" Before he could answer, the store owner appeared, effusively greeting Mr. Chen and asking about the piano's sound quality. Maya used the interruption to slip away, confusion and betrayal churning inside her. That night, Noah came to the diner, but Maya asked Gus to serve his table. She felt Noah's eyes following her throughout her shift, but she kept her distance, protecting her heart from further damage. When closing time came, she found a small envelope at his empty table. Inside was a ticket to his upcoming concert and a note in elegant handwriting. "The music came back when I met you. Please come." Maya slipped the ticket into her pocket, unsure whether to feel touched or manipulated by the gesture. Part 4. Broken Melodies. 2 weeks passed without Noah appearing at the diner. Maya told herself it was better this way, even as she glanced hopefully at the door whenever the bell chimed after midnight. One rainy evening, she arrived at her father's house to find him attempting to play his old guitar, his trembling hands unable to press the strings properly. Frustration and sadness etched deep lines around his eyes. "I keep thinking if I just try hard enough, my fingers will remember," he said when he noticed Maya watching. "Maybe they need a different way to remember," Maya replied, thinking of Noah's words about music staying locked inside. She pulled out the concert ticket, still carried in her wallet. "There's a benefit concert for Parkinson's research next week. The pianist, he's someone I know." "Sort of," her father's eyes brightened. "Live music? I'd need to wear my good sweater." The night of the concert, Maya and her father arrived at the ornate theater downtown. She felt out of place among the well-dressed attendees, having come directly from her hospital shift. The lights dimmed, and Noah walked onto the stage in a dark suit, looking both familiar and like a stranger. He sat at the piano, and Maya braced herself for the elegant classical pieces advertised in the program. Instead, Noah leaned toward the microphone. "Good evening. Before I begin, I want to share something personal. For 2 years, I couldn't play a note. Music, which had been my voice since childhood, abandoned me completely." The audience was silent as he continued. "Then I met someone who works 2 jobs, who carries others' burdens without complaint, who reminded me that true courage isn't about performing perfectly. It's about showing up, night after night, and doing what needs to be done." Maya felt her father's questioning glance, but kept her eyes fixed on Noah. "This first piece isn't on your program. I composed it over the past few weeks, during the night hours when the world feels both terrifyingly vast and intimately small. I call it the night shift. The melody that filled the hall was hauntingly beautiful, simple at first, like a quiet conversation, then building into something complex and rich with emotion. Maya recognized fragments of tunes Noah had hummed at the diner, now woven into a tapestry of sound that seemed to tell their story. Her father reached for her hand, squeezing it gently. "He's playing for you, isn't he?" he whispered. After the concert, Maya hesitated in the lobby while her father chatted animatedly with other attendees. When Noah emerged from backstage, their eyes met across the crowded room. He moved toward her, uncertainty in every step. "You came," he said simply. "My father loves music," Maya replied, gesturing toward where her dad stood. "And you? What do you love, Maya?" The question hung between them, weighted with all they'd shared and all they'd left unsaid. "I'm still figuring that out," she answered honestly. "But I know I don't want to be anyone's muse or charity project. Is that what you think this is?" Noah's voice was soft. "Maya, you didn't inspire me to play again. You reminded me why I began playing in the first place, to connect, to express what words can't say." For the first time, Maya saw past the composed exterior to the vulnerability beneath. "I'm afraid," she admitted, "not of who you are, but of what this could be." "My life is complicated enough. Mine too," Noah said. "But maybe complicated is exactly what we both need." Symphony of Second Chances. Spring arrived in Oak Ridge Bay, bringing longer days and the scent of salt and blooming jasmine on the breeze. The Harbor Light Diner remained unchanged, except for the small upright piano now tucked in the corner, courtesy of an anonymous donor that everyone knew was Noah. "Play something cheerful." "Maestro," called Gus from the kitchen as Noah finished his shift rehearsal at the community music school and settled at the piano. In the 3 months since the concert, much had changed. The music therapy program Noah had started at the local hospital was thriving, with Maya's father among its first participants. His tremors hadn't disappeared, but he'd found new ways to express his musicality, conducting small ensembles with gentle movements that worked within his limitations. Maya entered the diner, still wearing her hospital scrubs, and smiled at the scene before her. Noah surrounded by the Tuesday night regulars, filling the space with melody instead of silence. "Your boyfriend's drawing a crowd," remarked Gus, sliding a mug of tea toward her. "He's not my—" Maya began automatically, then stopped herself. What was Noah to her now? More than a customer, more than a friend, yet they hovered in that undefined space between possibility and commitment. Noah looked up then, catching her eye with a smile that still made her heart stutter. He segued smoothly into a familiar tune, the theme from The Night Shift, which had become something of a signature piece since its debut. When his improvised concert ended, Noah joined Maya at the counter. "I have news," they both said simultaneously, then laughed. "You first," Maya insisted. Noah took a deep breath. "I've been offered a teaching position at the conservatory in the city. It would mean less touring, more stability. I'd still be an hour away, but—" Maya's smile faltered slightly. "That's wonderful, Noah. You'd be an amazing teacher. What about your news?" he asked, noticing her hesitation. "The hospital offered me a full-time position coordinating with your music therapy program. Better hours, better pay. I could cut back to just one job." Joy spread across Noah's features. "Maya, that's exactly what you wanted." "It is. But now, with you moving to the city—" She trailed off, the familiar weight of timing and circumstance settling on her shoulders. Noah reached across the counter, taking her hand. "What if this isn't an ending? What if it's just a different arrangement of the same melody?" Later that night, after closing, they walked along the moonlit shore. The lighthouse beam swept over them periodically, illuminating the path before disappearing, much like the uncertain future ahead. "I've spent so much of my life taking care of others," Maya said, her voice mixing with the sound of gentle waves. "My father, my patients, even the night owls at the diner. I'm not sure I remember how to make choices just for me." Noah stopped walking, turning to face her. The moonlight silvered the edges of his dark hair as he looked at her intently. What if you didn't have to choose between caring for others and caring for yourself? What if there was a way to harmonize both? He stepped closer, his hands finding hers. I don't have all the answers, Maya. I still have days when panic closes my throat and the music hides from me. But I know that whatever comes next, I want to face it with you. Maya felt tears threatening. I'm scared of changing anything. What if it all falls apart? What if it doesn't? Noah countered gently. His hand rose to cup her cheek. What if, for once, we both deserve something beautiful? When his lips met hers, Maya felt something unlock inside her chest. A space she'd kept carefully guarded, now opening to possibility. The kiss deepened, his arms encircling her waist as she wound hers around his neck, their bodies finding perfect alignment beneath the vast night sky. Later, breathless and laughing, they sat on the sand, planning a future neither had imagined months ago. Weekend visits, holiday concerts, music therapy sessions where Noah would play and Maya would heal, each complementing the other's strengths. It won't always be easy, Maya acknowledged, her head resting on his shoulder. The best compositions never are, Noah replied, pressing a kiss to her temple. They're complex, challenging, but worth every moment of struggle. As the lighthouse beam swept over them once more, Maya realized that some melodies take time to develop, like the slow, tender notes of a love song written across midnight conversations, or the symphony of two lives gradually learning to play in perfect harmony.